Alright, what is going on everyone? Crypto Mac here, bringing you guys another crypto video. Today we're going to be discussing Rune Thorchain, just a bit of an update video on what's happening in the market, especially with Rune, and where we think it's going to go moving forward in this short term, and also discuss like long term as well. So if we have a look at it, it does look pretty bearish right now. The market looks pretty bad. Rune in particular looks quite ugly, if I'm being honest. So the two things we know is the first, small head and shoulders here, which I believe we're broken. We've hit our target for. Yeah, we've about hit the target for this. The other one is the other head and shoulders, the bigger one. There's also a head and shoulders there. So we can see, first of all, we have hit this first head and shoulders line, which is good because this may potentially indicate that we had the head and shoulders, we came down, we've hit our target basically like perfectly, and now we might start the uptrend. There's a chance, that's a possibility. The other thing is we may see another head and shoulders here. So if we look at it like that, here could be another head and shoulders. And if we look at the price target for this, this would take us down to about $6.80. Rune is currently trading at $10, so means we could go down another $4. Also, just want to point out, this is not financial advice, so please do your own research. This is just for entertainment purposes only. But if we look at this target, if we actually have a look at it, there's a bit of confluence here. If we draw out this resistance line that we saw, like this, it gets pretty close to this line. So this could be an area which may be the target in the short term. So this could be an area of strong support. We might come down to somewhere around here. Rune may end up here in the short term. This is another nearly 40% dip, which is very, very staggering. From the top, we're currently seeing a 45% correction from the top, which is very significant. And yeah, if we were to come down to a new level, this would be upwards of 62%, which is a big decrease in price. The other thing this does is it somewhat invalidates our cup and handle that we've been talking about as well, which has a price target up here of the all-time high level of $21, which I've been talking about for quite a bit. So it somewhat invalidates that because we've come now down below the line. We didn't see support, and yeah, it seems like it may get ugly. It's going to depend on so much on how Bitcoin performs. Like, we've gotten support at this line quite a few times. So there was support there, but then Bitcoin took a turn for the worse, and then obviously the rest of the market's going to do that. And so that's why Rune finally came down and yeah, broke through that support line, and now isn't looking that good. Another thing to look at is the RSI. So we can see we dropped below 30 on the RSI, which the last time we did that was back here. And the time before that was here, where we actually went significantly lower than the RSI was at this level. Sorry, this level here. So if we actually look at this, if we were to draw out, so this is the last time we went into the low 20s in the RSI, and we're on the 4-hourly. If we're to draw a pattern for what happened and then place it here, you can see it says we've bottomed here, and when it come back up, get some resistance off this line, come down, go even lower, and then start to move back up. And then if we look forward from that, I'll even just have a look forward from that to get really optimistic. If we do, if we get really optimistic, you can see this, and if we draw this line across like so, there's one resistance once, come down, test it again, resistance, test it again. This now forms a W pattern there, and then we break through, and then we go pretty parabolic somewhat. And this will be right on the 30th of December, so just before the end of the year, we'll be very close to our all-time high levels. Should this play out, obviously, this is just pure speculation, just me having a look at a few things, a couple of variables, looking at how history, what's happened historically, and how this may be what happens. And it seems somewhat probable that we'd get resistance off this line, and then break through and we try a third time. That seems reasonable. So there's a chance this may play out. And this is a bit of a sideways movement as well, which is probably might be what we need. And then from here you could draw a line like this and see the support line going up. So there's a few ways of looking at it, but this is just one alternative that may happen. We see a move like this. This would be good. I mean, we've already seen, if we look at it, we've already seen this little movement here, sideways movement. We've seen that. And now we're actually a bit higher as well. So we could see, we'll just keep watching it. This come down, sideways movement for a few candles, then a move up. Then a move up and take us to this level. 23% move. That could be on the cards. But even if that were to play out, we're not out of the woods yet, because if history were to repeat, which it probably won't, but it rhymes, then we'd get resistance off this line, come back down even lower, then have another move back up, and then back down, more sideways movement, and then finally the breakout. And when the breakout happens, we go pretty parabolic. Like if we actually look at this move that happened, we can see that this from here would be a 100% move, exactly 100%. So that would be pretty insane, obviously. And that's only in a 13-day period, by the way. You gotta remember that this is that's a short-term move for 100% gain. So again, it's just speculation. I'm not saying this is gonna happen at all. As I said, we may come down. This head and shoulders that we're talking about could easily play out, and meaning that Rune could drop a hell of a lot more down to this $6 level, $7 level. I would not want that to happen, but if it were to happen, then we'll deal with it, right? I guess if it happens, it happens. The market's just looking really bad at the moment. All coins are. So we look at Bitcoin, obviously broke out of this sideways moving channel. I was talking about these S formations. That's kind of out the window now because of breaking that. Our idea was that we we're going to come back up and move sideways, but we're breaking down lower. It's trading at 56,000. I'm obviously looking at Bitcoin because Bitcoin's going to affect the market. We all know that. So Bitcoin, 56,000, broken out of this line. It's just really not good. I'm not sure how much lower we can go. If we're looking at levels of support, obviously our cup and handle line probably will provide some support, which is down at 51,000. There's also this line we can talk about. We draw this up. So we could move sideways, move downward like this, trend down, and then we'll see support on a bit of confluence from both those lines. So ideally we get some strong support there. That's a chance. And the other thing is if we go to the weekly, this is my last resort in terms of support. So we see this ascending triangle that we had. It's coming down. Hopefully we get support off it. But the other thing is the bull market support bands, which one of them, the 21-week EMA is on our cup and handle lines. So there's even more support. There's 3 lines of support right on this point right here. So this is like the golden point, if you will. Like that is our point of support. That if we come down and hit this and we break through this, then it could get seriously ugly. And then our 20-week moving average is also our next line, which is our last line. I'd say if we break through that, that would pretty much indicate the bull market is done, and we peaked at 68,000. This is real bearish. I'm talking very bearish, and I don't like talking that bearish, but just looking at all the variables and discussing every potential possibility that could play out, because no one can predict exactly what's going to happen. So we don't know how bad this is going to go. This could just be simply a correction, a bit more than we've seen recently. Like this one, as I said, was a 13% correction, not massive. And then obviously this one is looking at 20%, which still is not massive correction. We've seen bigger corrections in the past. And so to come down to this level here, the 25% correction, that might be a bit more of a healthy correction. So the market can go, okay, well, we've had a healthy correction. Now we can get support and move back up and start rallying again. And then, as I said before, Rune has had its big correction as well of 46%. But if Bitcoin continues to move down, then we might see Rune go further than this, up to, I think I had it at 60% from this top at $17. Like 60% was a line we had from our head and shoulders pattern. And then of course this one coming down to here as well. So In the short term, I really don't know what's going to happen. No one can predict what's going to happen. I would not listen to anyone who says they know exactly what's going to happen in the market. It's very hard to predict. Literally anything can happen, but I'll keep you updated. We'll look at this head and shoulders. I'll keep you updated, see what happens, how the market moves. Let me know what you think's going to happen. I'm keen to see everyone's thoughts. Please like the video, comment, subscribe. Would much appreciate it. Share it with everyone, and I'll see you later, guys. Enjoy.